Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Bjorn from Triassic Park Trials again, back after a long time of not posting anything on YouTube. Quite a lot of things actually happened in let's say the last half year. I will do another video about that stuff because, there were some good things, there were quite some pretty bad things. Concerning I will give like one small example. It's not small, but there are quite some examples. But my dear father, he was getting sick, and we eventually found out that he is suffering from, I'm not completely sure what it's called in English, but I thought it would be called lymphoid cancer. Yes, it is actually cancer. So yeah, there was quite a big impact on my private life. That's one of the reasons why I was away for such a long time. My father is doing well. They are trying to cure the cancer. As far as we know currently, it's working out fine, but we don't have guarantees yet, so we have to wait a little bit longer. Like I said, it's private matters that withhelp me from updating you guys on YouTube and stuff. It's something personal, and some things I will actually keep personal because it has nothing to do with the drops. So basically, I spent 1.5 minutes about the private matters. That's the reason why I didn't upload anything. But as you can see, there is a new video on the channel. And that's definitely for a reason, because I actually really missed having try-ups during that time. I spent about 5 years caring for try-ups the past 5 years, and I basically did that on a daily basis. The last several years, I can't remember a day that I wasn't taking care of try-ups or busy with keeping try-ups and the whole stuff around it, because I also have the YouTube channel, and there are also quite a lot of people that are asking me stuff on the Facebook groups, then the chats on Instagram, by email and stuff. So yeah, I also did spend quite a lot of time on the community itself, and I always enjoyed that. So I decided to pick up the hobby again, when I would have time for it as well. I still don't have too much time, so I can't be like that active like I used to before, but I'm going to try to find like something in the middle where I can attend to things that I have to do in private life, but I will also try to spend some time on on actually keeping try-ups again, and not consuming social media, but actually posting some content for you guys to watch, because I also kind of discovered that I was watching quite a lot of YouTube videos, like other stuff, like from games, or basically a lot of stuff else, because I'm interested in a lot of things like geopolitics, like quite a lot of stuff. So there was a lot of things to watch on YouTube, but I was actually watching more YouTube than I was posting on YouTube. But I was still there, and also as well on the background, I was still there for the community, while I was also a little bit away. But as you can see, there are some try-ups in this XL hatchery that I set up, I think about, let's say, a little bit longer than a week ago. Yesterday they were 9 days old, I guess. Not completely sure, but so they are in the second week now. We got 3 try-ups in this hatchery. Eventually they will be transferred to the main tank, but first I want to get them to the adult stage, because in the previous attempts I actually had some problems with keeping them healthy in the hatchery, because I was actually losing some of them in the hatchery prior to transferring them, and sometimes I also lost them after the transfer. So I decided I had to do something about the hatchery phase. So I decided to put actually gravel inside the hatchery, so they can actually lay eggs inside the hatchery. That will give me the opportunity to actually recover eggs from the hatchery, instead of having to drain the whole tank if this step fails again, because I had to do that every time, and that actually took quite a lot of time to reset the tank every time the hatchery would fail. This time I have a Triops australiensis green. This is a pretty large species, so I'm really interested to see how big they actually will get. This is my thumb. You can see they are not too big yet, but that will definitely come in the next several weeks. Triops australiensis is actually quite an interesting species to me, because I have quite a lot of species, and when you have that amount of species, it's hard to find something really new in the build of the Triops. But this Triops species actually has quite an interesting body build. How I would compare it is they actually kinda have like the head shield from the Cankerformis species, but they also do have their length, the length of the tail, like the Longicaudatus species, for example. So it's like, it kinda looks like a hybrid somehow. It's not a hybrid, I guess, but because it's Triops australiensis, it's like a different species on its own. But the fun thing is, they are all Triops species, so they do have characteristics that actually are the same, but they also have their differences, and that's something interesting for me. For example, if you're really into collecting the Triops species, it's getting interesting on what kind of features the Triops also have. Don't get me wrong, I like every Triops species, because to me every species is interesting, because they are all from different parts of the world where I will possibly never be, but will never get. But it's interesting to actually have them, because you never know. Maybe in the future their natural habitats will run out. You never know. I would rather see these guys survive, because, you know, it's an Asian species. Triops are definitely interesting pets. They are like prehistoric shrimps, I would say. I mean, they have been surviving for 200 million years on this planet. It's quite interesting. So it would be a shame if humans would destroy their habitats and eventually they would like get no chance at all. So I'm glad we are actually trying to keep them in these aquariums, trying to preserve something. I hope we never have to, but you know, while we're at it, these eggs are also pretty interesting, like on how they work. So yep, definitely interesting. So back to this species, Triops australiensis green. I did have the Triops australiensis silver as well. This species kinda does look like it, but it's definitely they do definitely have a different color. These guys are somewhat green transparent. They are currently a little bit more transparent because they are juveniles. Well, they are not juveniles anymore, excuse me, because they actually already have their egg sacs, which is something interesting because they are only 9 days old. Usually the egg sacs start to form around 14 days, but these guys are quite fast, I must say. They have been growing quite fast as well. But that's definitely something interesting. I mean, if the growth speed is that significant already, I wonder how big these guys will get eventually, because right now they are with 3 of them inside this hatchery. The footprint is pretty large, as you can see. It's almost half the size of the actual footprint of the main aquarium. Of course, this one has way more volume because it also has the height, but still, this is pretty natural. A rain pool doesn't always get this deep in nature, so this is fairly natural, I would say. I did add the Elodia oxygenating plant because this tank is currently running at, let me see, around 26 degrees Celsius. I'm not completely sure how much Fahrenheit that is for my American viewers, but we're at 26 degrees now, so that's fairly hot, kind of to the tropical side. But oxygen levels decrease if the water is actually a little bit on the warmer sides. So I decided to add the oxygenating plant just to make sure there is a little bit more oxygen. We don't have to worry too much about the oxygen levels, because in nature these pools run out of oxygen sometimes as well. That's where the troughs have their little cool mechanic. They are brachiopoda, which actually means they have gills on their legs. This trough is currently like swimming around, but if they do this on their backsides, reaching or like touching the surface, they are actually able to collect oxygen from the surface as well, from the atmospheric oxygen, by touching the surface of the water, which is something interesting. That's how they can actually still breathe if water starts to run out and oxygen starts to deplete inside a temporary rain pool. Like, we can oxygenate our aquariums, but natural rainwater pools that will eventually dry out don't get oxygenated very well, as far as I know. So this doesn't get oxygenated as well, not too much, because the water is completely still. There is no filter pushing it around, and that's why I just added like one strand of plant just to make sure there is something that creates oxygen for them. There is also some leaf litter around. That's basic stuff, detritus to hatch the troughs with, but it's also useful for the later stages, so I just leave it in there. Also some duckweed, of course, because, you know, if you guys got duckweed, tell me. You probably know about this stuff, what it does to your aquarium once you start it. You never get rid of this stuff. But I'm okay with it, because the troughs will actually eat it. Troughs will eat the roots of the duckweed, and eventually if the duckweed starts to get yellow or starts to die off, it will start to sink. Troughs will eat it. So free food, free salad, I don't mind. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. I'm gonna keep it a little bit shorter this time. We're at 12 minutes right now. If you stuck to the end of the video, thank you for watching, guys. I will upload another video explaining a little bit more about what happened the last several months, just like shortly, so you guys know a little bit what's up and what happened. It's mostly about my personal health. That's basically what it's about. But that's something for next time, or maybe even not. You guys know now something about my health, but you guys probably already knew there was some stuff wrong with my health, but I'm doing pretty fine right now. So I'm definitely going to try to do a little bit more content making again. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, feel free to drop a comment. I also want to thank everyone that reached out to me when I wasn't there, because there were also some followers that actually asked, yo, we haven't seen a video for quite long, are you still alive? And I'm just like, yeah, I was still alive, but had to attend other things. So thank you guys for asking. I really appreciate that. So it really warms my heart that people on the other side of the world actually care about their YouTubers. So thank you guys, really appreciate it. I hope to see you guys next time, and have a nice one.